Hello, hello, hello. I'm making a schematic real quick because I need some sizes. So give me a second. While I do this off camera, your model works. Ooh, interesting. How'd you get it to work? Did you have to do anything special, or is it just something that you oversaw? Code. Yeah, no, yes, for sure. But I had plenty of moments where I forgot some small part of the code. That was like a really stupid thing to miss, but just because you've been staring on it. Oh, hundreds of codes? Oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah, not my kind of vibe. But it's Thursday. I've been having a week and a half. So we're gonna do some planning in the creative world, just so I can get a better vibe of where I want to go with the city. So, whoop-de-doo. Let's do that. Let me load up the actual creative world. Single player. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-bum. I need to go to IKEA this weekend, and I'm not looking forward to it. I want to get a piece of pegboard for my shelf, and Saturday is gonna be way too busy, and Sunday they're not open, so I kind of have to go on Saturday. Okay, so IRL stream time? No, I don't think I want to do IRL streams within like shops and stuff. I don't think that's a good thing, like a good idea. What I want to get planned out today is this quarter all the way up to the harbor. So maybe we should get like a retaining, like we should continue that retaining wall over here, so that we actually get some idea of the harbor itself. Or we could have this be like like dirt structure or like stone structure, and then we can start our wall over here. I think beach. The beach would make sense to be like over here or over there, but this is going to be where ships moor to unload and offload their cargo. So I don't think a beach would make sense. Maybe over here we could do like a cobbly piece of land. That is a thing that we can do. For now though, we'll put in a retaining wall. We'll kind of cap it off over here. And then it's mostly, I want to see how far back I'm gonna push the houses over here. Because I don't want houses to be on the dock themselves. Like I want houses to be a little further off the docks. Technically, this would be like the wharf, not the dock. The dock would be sticking out of the wharf. Log in Discord real quick. Custom models. Ooh, interesting. Swords. Nice. Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, I've been really enjoying, like, just modding itself. I'm not good at it, and it's not fast, but it's something I tend to do when I have some spare time where I can't spend it. Like, I don't have enough spare time to work on, like, a Minecraft build or something. but I can just open up my software and just, you know, run through the code a little bit. Okay, let's see. And then over here we'll kind of like, ooh, maybe we should add in a second wall. Yeah, we probably should add in a second wall. That is just gonna act as a lower. I'm gonna post some progress and potential downloads there. Yeah, sure. Sure. Ooh. There you go. Encourage your peers. So you know can get the items. I'm not promising that I'll use it or I'll check it out. Like I'll install it, but I'm very keen of just keeping on updates. Like keen on updates. I want to use. I think I want to use this large flat area as like the main square of the docks, where it's like fresh fish markets, stuff like that. And then we can put like a wharf down there with like some other markets, because you would split up your markets, right? You would have stuff like wheats and grains and stuff on a different markets than your proteins. So I do want to also, that's going to allow us to kind of stretch out the harbor a little bit, which is good. Ooh. There you go. Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. That's a good one. Okay, this is gonna go all the way around, which, oh, a little hitch there. Which is gonna lock in this area a little bit, but I'm not mad about it. Ooh, what I do wanna, maybe I use this lower part as either some type of garden, or we can use it as a bit of a mine. I don't think mines would work in this city. I think the city would be like more of a trading hub than it is a production hub. Yes, it'll have its own small factories, but most of it is gonna be transport and logistics. Oh, you missed mine? No, I didn't. I showed it. Look at that. That one. I showed it. Encourage your peers. That was it. I showed it. You're just not paying attention. Gotta pay attention, chat. Can't be repeating everything I do. I don't know if I want to do harbor over here though. Maybe we can put some maybe we can do like cargo vessels over there and then have some smaller yachts over here for like just people's transport vessels. But this one doesn't really go any. Ooh, what we could do is have smaller vessels that use the river for transport, right? So the bigger ships would come in here, right? Offload, and then people would buy up their stuff, transport it over the river to other towns. That's something we could do. Interesting. I like that idea, actually. I like that idea. Okay, so the lower docks would come out to, I'd say, 2 blocks above water level. So we're gonna fill these walls in until 2 blocks above water level. Just until we hit that split that we made on the apex of the curve. What should I make next? That's kind of up to you. I don't know what the mod is about, so that's kind of up to you. Everything and nothing. See, that doesn't help. Then it's definitely up to you. You know what I want to make, like as an actual mod and not just as a card game, is I want to make a create add-on that is all about games. Right? All about games. So we would have a way to get scoreboards in there. We would have like a mechanical, instead of like a display, you could do like a scoreboard. No, this is what I want to do. We could have timers. We could have stuff like that. I think that'd be cool. What else would I do? We could have dice. A dice set would be cool. A randomizer, like an actual randomizer that you can set to odds. You can set to 1 out of 16, I think would be max. Maybe I should do 20, you know? Because then I have a D20. You never know when you might need a D20. Okay. You never know when you might need a D20. Aside from that, I don't think I'd have... I don't know what I would add. but it would be all functionality based. I kind of have to take a look at what I usually miss when I'm making games, what I usually struggle with. Okay, so here's where this idea came from, is I want to make a way that I can track people's progress. And so in numismatics you've got you have ID badges, ID cards, and doing this, right, where you tie a card to someone, would be pretty handy as like a way to track people's progress, you know? I noticed the video, but I couldn't watch it. I see I've upgraded to survival world. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, this is the creative testing world, but the video is basically about that part of town over there. So that's just a custom BT deck. Yeah, but I want. So the problem with these, I've been trying to get like a system that recognizes user input, so that you can scan a badge, and then if you input your prizes, your coins, it would go into a certain vault, right? So what I want to be able to do is use this when it's tied to you, bound to a player. I want to be able to use it in the redstone link, right? Or in a where you go, maybe a custom block that would only interact with custom items. Yeah. Or I want to be able to use it in a smart observer, where now it only looks at ID cards, but I want it to look at the tag, at the name, and then power something based on that name. That's kind of what I want to do. Still block sized. So technically they're not block sized. They're 2 blocks wide. You see? They're 2 blocks wide. That's why they're massive. That's also why I kind of like them for like retaining walls. It's because they look like they're structurally entwined with each other. Sir. Okay, so that's that, and then from here we'll do 1 row of these. I don't know how I would do it though. How I would get it, how I would make it interact. If you have ideas on how we could logistically work that out, not in like a technical way of is it possible or not, but how it would function within the game, I'm all ears, because I would not know. Do I want it to interact as like a redstone signal? I don't know. Okay. I kind of like the idea of it just being an item that you carry on you. Basically, what I want is I want a block that accepts those cards. It reads off the data and then sends the data to wherever it needs to go. Might need a mixin config if you want to alter other blocks in particular. I mean, I could make my own block, right? It doesn't have to be existing blocks. I could make like instead of like a redstone link, I could do like an ID link, right? And then we have an ID reader. We have, so think of this as, right? That's what you said. I am just spitting ideas. I am just spitting ideas, right? If this is an ID reader, I put my card on it, and then it reads the data, and it looks for receivers that have my ID type in it, and it sends a signal to that ID, right? That's kind of the vibe I want to do. And then so that would, because this is my card on there, that would be turned on. And then if I want to take it off, if I take it off, that would turn back off. That's one idea I've been having. Or a system that lets you like automatically filter on cards. I'm gonna see if I can make that work. Who knows, right? Auto might be a bit easier than the redstone link. I think I'll make my own link. Instead of doing a redstone link, I'll do like an ID link or an ID ID receiver or something like that. You'll have a reader and a receiver. Will we make it optimized? In what way? Gotta drop it on the depot. That aren't be doing. I'm not gonna rap. I don't have the cadence and the voice for rapping. I do have the voice, the annoying voice, to tell you a joke about a red and green knight. But you have to earn that joke. By giving me ideas. Also, this is, I can confirm, the most annoying joke you will ever have heard. You will never hear a more annoying joke than the joke about a knight. Go for it. Okay, let me, because I need to translate this in my brain, real quick. So this is the joke about the red and green knight on his red and green polka dotted horse. You ready for it? You ready for the joke? No, a red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse. So there once was a red and green knight riding a red and green polka dotted horse. And of course, the red and green knight on his red and green polka dotted horse wanted to marry a princess. So, our red and green knight on his red and green polka dotted horse goes on and looks for a castle. And while our red and green knight on his red and green polka dotted horse looks for that princess and that castle, he finds on a hill looking out in the distance, he finds one of the most beautiful castles he's ever seen. So a red and green knight and a red and green polka dotted horse right towards the castle, and at the foot of the hill, there's a gate, and the red and green knight and the red and green polka dotted horse go to the gate, and there's a guard. The guard goes, "Who are you?" And the red and green knight, on his red and green polka dotted horse, answers, "I am the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse." "Oh, you're the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse?" Yeah, I am the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse." "Ah, you may enter," says the guard. Now what he didn't know is there's a second gate with a second guard. And the guard goes, "Who goes there?" And our knight answers, "I am the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse." "Oh, you're the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse," says the guard. Yeah, I am the red and green knight on a red... Can you see where we're going with this, by the way? Yeah, I'm the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse. "You may enter," says the guard. And lo and behold, there's a third gate. And at the third gate, there's a third guard. And the third guard goes, "Oh, who are you, sir?" And the knight goes, "I am the red and green knight on the red and green polka dotted horse." "Oh, you're the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse," says the guard. Yes, I am the red and green knight on a red and green polka dotted horse. By this time, you would guess that he has a better name for himself, but he doesn't. So you may enter, knight, says the guard. And there he comes at the throne room of the castle, and he gets an audience with the king, and the king goes, "Who are you, sir knight?" "I am the red and green knight with on the red and green polka dotted horse," says the knight. "And I want to marry your sister." No, your daughter, not sister. See, this is what happens when you live translate a joke from your mother tongue to another, to your not native language. And it keeps going for about another 10 minutes. So if you want me to continue, you'll have to pay money for that. Because I'm not continuing this joke. And it just keeps going. He defeats a dragon by the end. And the only thing, the funniest thing is everyone just wants to know his name, dude. Everyone just wants to know his name. And there's no... Well, the punchline of the joke is, "Oh, I don't have a daughter." That's the whole joke. It's one of those jokes that your parents tell you as a kid to just keep yourself busy. Okay. This low layer of dirt is just so we can support our gravel that we're going to be putting up here. So eventually we'll put an extra wall outside of this. Okay, maybe we're going a bit too close at this point. Okay, and then over here, let's go 3, 4. No, I'm not even on the correct level. There we go. That's better. That's better. Also, let's not go too far away from the wall itself, because we do have to get in here, make this look right, like that. Good. Now the question is, how far do I want to take this around? I kind of want to go all the way until we hit that wall. So this over here. 2, 3, 4. And then this would all be wall continuing down. He's promoting what? Who's promoting what? Am I promoting things I'm not getting paid for? I shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be promoting things I'm not being paid for to promote. Also, that's a very real thing. If you ever see me promote something, it's either because I truly like the product, or it's because I'm financially in need of money. You know? It happens sometimes. Sometimes you just need a little bit of pocket change. But I'm not. If it ever happens, because it might not even happen. But if it ever happens, it's one of those two. Hello. I'm going to call you Chibi. Hello, Chibi. Welcome in. How you doing? Hope you're having a great Thursday. I am, we're building a little bit. Doing some creative planning. I was telling a joke and I stopped halfway through because I got sick of my own joke. That should tell you enough about this stream. Yeah, should tell you enough. To be fair, it is a joke that you're meant to get sick of, but not seeing people get it frustrated kind of ruins the fun of it. You know what would be fun? If I ever have more time to stream. If I ever find more time to stream, which is always the difficult part about streaming, right? But if I ever find more time, I want to do like a story time where I find, I wouldn't call them fairy tale, fables, whatever, but like short stories, short mythological stories that just are very interesting, and I just read them for you guys. But that's for if I ever have more time. We could go and read something more interesting. Some fishies. Name them all of them Baron. I don't know. I got a lot of work to do on this thing now, so it might not happen. I'm making a harbor, basically a big pond. If you think about it, a harbor is just a big pond. Maybe not a pond, but you get it. You get it. It's a bot, bro, just like me. That's fair. They can be bots. I don't really care. As long as they don't start hate raiding or whatever, yeah, it's fine. And if they're not bots, that's even better. Oh no. That's... oh. That's annoying. Hello, Chibi. I am an egg. That is true. Well, technically I'm eggs. There's 98 of me. Don't want to replay. Oh, you know, screw it. I'm filling it in by hand. There we go. Bum bum ba-dum 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 bum. You have wand here? What wand? Interesting. I didn't know that Kiko stood for that. Will I edit one? I kind of do, but it's fine. We can put stuff in manually. We can put stuff in manually. ASMR of placing dirt. Dude, that's so true. Dirt placing is one of the most satisfying sounds in Minecraft. Axiom? No, I don't like it. Me no like it. That or breaking dirt. Breaking dirt is also very satisfying to listen to. Lily pads? Maybe. Maybe when we're in detailing phases. Right now we're still roughly planning out the harbor. On command blocks on vanilla. I mean, not a lot of people know how command blocks works in general, so I don't think that's a you problem. I think that's just not using them a lot kind of problem, you know? Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. There we go. Fine. Should line up. I've been having a stiff neck for like the past couple of days, and it's really annoying. It was to the point where in the gym yesterday I couldn't do certain exercises, and I got really frustrated. Did you know that Minecraft was a inspiration? I guess. I don't know. I don't know about the lore. I just know it's block game. With a large player base. Block game, large amount of people playing it. The extent of my knowledge about the game. The history of the game. Everything that's like outside of the actual Minecraft game, I have no idea about. Isn't one of your people covering Hightail? My people? What? Who is my people? I think most of them are playing Hightail. I don't know. I think MrBeardstone is making content of Hightail, but that's the only one I know for sure. Yeah, MrBeardstone is the only one I know of. They are my people. I don't think Chosen 2... Is he making content on it? I know he's playing it. I don't know if he's making content on it, though. Only streaming. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I need to... I'm gonna hate myself while doing this, but I'm gonna have to fill this in, I think. Wouldn't be much of a retaining wall if it wasn't filled in. If you have to ask if you can, the answer is usually no. That's the golden rule. If you have to ask if you can do something, the answer is usually no. I think that's a good like golden rule to have in your online chat behavior, is that if you have to ask if a rule is this or that, or if you can do something this or that, it's usually best to just not do it. Because it just you know, that means that it's something that is seen as provoking, or maybe not. If you're thinking of your question being something that might be difficult or hard or whatever, or might be controversial, then for sure it is. Covered by egg. That is true. Yes. I covered the face of an old man with an egg as a profile picture. That is true. And I do not know who that old man is. I just, you know, I looked for black and white image of an old man. And I got that. Okay. After we get the harbor done, or like the retaining walls on the harbor, we're gonna do roads, because I want to get the main roads in. I'm not talking about like the side roads, but I want to get the main roads figured out at least, and then we can start getting some house shapes in as well. Make McDonald's and KFC. I'm not gonna make those two in particular, but I do like the idea of making maybe not a fast food joint, but like a restaurant place within the world that has franchises, so that when we get to multiple cities, right now we only have one, right? But when we do have multiple cities, you can always have that restaurant in there. Where it says there are rules. Yes, but if okay, so here's my point. Here's my point I want to make. If the rule states you can't do this, you can't, in my case, do anything political or religious. You can't talk about it because those are just topics that there's always a side A and B, and in my opinion, none of them are right, none of them are wrong, because it's all subjective, right? So also, this is a Minecraft channel, not a political channel. So we stay away from those topics. And if you have to ask, oh, can I do this because this question leans into politics a little bit, then your answer is in your question. It's a no, because you've already answered that question. Because it might be political, or people might see it as political. Then in that case, you can't do it, because it's gonna hit that rule of it being political. When we talk about churches and how they are architecturally constructed, we're not talking about the religion of Christianity, right? We're talking about the building and what the building represents. That's different from talking about Jesus, you know? Do they have ties together? Yeah, but they're not the same topic. Did you know what is evil Minecraft? What are you talking about? Almost there. Okay, and then I need to go up to even Minecraft is a game like Minecraft, but has obsidian armor, even bone tools and other. Okay, strange. That just sounds like a mod at that point. Okay, let's do that. Has to be a kid. Okay, let's not attack people for the questions that they ask. Let's not attack people. You know? It's not necessary. I've asked weird questions before. Maybe English is not their first language. Maybe they have a little trouble with sentence construction. Yeah, it happens. If you don't know the entire history behind a person, don't attack them. Just is there a conclusion? Still doesn't feel that way. There we go. There we go. Almost there. There we go. Then we just slash fill with 50% supplementaries gravel bricks, 30% gravel, and 20% andesite. Okay. As big humans. So it's the nether. Apparently this is not 100 blocks within 100 blocks range, but we can fix that easily. Okay, so that's that, and then we do need a way up and down the bulwarks. Which we might do. How can I get down easily? Ooh, I like the idea of cutting it into the wall. Like for instance, we have 3 blocks back over here. We decide middle is here, so we do 3, 3. And then we have staircase going down here. We cut all of this out until we hit that wall over there. So, and then staircase wise, we do, let's see, what kind of andesite brick do we have? Let's do stair. Got classic andesite bricks. I do like these more. There we go. Then we go wall, wall, wall. I don't know what's going on in chat, but maybe we stop talking about it. Because y'all are getting heated. I also think this is a very useless discussion to have. But hey, that's just me. Hello, Alarm. Welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? Right, that's why we put a layer below this floor. So that didn't happen. We're doing well. Yeah, we can do another one on the other side, and then we have a couple more in there. Oh, blocks that they're massive andesite bricks, and I feel like the massive bricks help give the idea that this is a very sturdy looking wall that's made to hold back loads of dirt. You know? Ba-da-bum. There we go. Take all of this down real quick. That should do it. Probably should extend this just to be universal with this guy. You know what? No, let's put some shape in this. Do that. What? Wait, why did I make that mistake? I don't know what you think about that side, but that's fine. We can reshape it. Let's see, how are we reshaping this? Because that is too flat. We could get slabs in, which I don't want to do, or did that, which we could do. Sure, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Has anything malfunctioned like a device? Why? Why? What should malfunction, or what should happen? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think so. A joke? I don't know. I don't know. You're making jokes. See, if I see things like, oh, is everything working fine? My mind goes to, oh, stream's dying. Right? That's where my mind goes. So I need then I go into, oh, I need to fix this because otherwise people can't enjoy stream as they should. Right? I think I'm just gonna do that. So it just, you know, we have 2 blocks here and then it just keeps going up. Wait, what? I'm not following. What's going on? I don't get it. Okay, y'all just sound like I don't know. But if you're not just gonna enjoy stream and be constructive within chat, you can also just watch. You don't have to chat. You don't have to be attacking both sides of the thing, you know? Both of you just kind of need to chill out. Her. Okay, so can you share a story? My story? I mean, what story do you want? Like the entire thing? You're gonna be here for a while if you want to hear the entire almost 30 years of my life. You're gonna be here for a while. A random story? I mean, I can. When I was a very small toddler, my grandpa was fixing up the gutters at the new house that my parents bought, and they were all just, you know, having fun, enjoying themselves, and so on and so on. And they left the ladder up to the side of the house, and this is a story that I've heard to be told. I was not capable of remembering this myself. But apparently, I was so dexterous and so good at just, you know, moving around that I ended up climbing the ladder into the gutters. And that should explain a lot about my childhood. That's it. That's the story. I don't know if that's a good enough story, though. I don't know if that's fantastic. I don't think my parents liked me doing that, or you know, my grandpa leaving the ladder there. Don't think they liked that either. I think that's enough stairs. I think that's enough stairs. Okay, now for the roads. Let's see. I want to have a road running around here. Basically, around all the way up till here. And this will be a main road, so we'll have this be pretty wide. We'll have that be pretty wide. Now over here we'll have the road continue straight. Right? This is what we're doing, chat, today. We're kind of getting the main roads in. So we'll do that. We'll have road going that way and then around, making like a little aisle in here, and then we'll have a T-junction over here that is going to go this way. Like that. That's going to go across all the way over here. Or we could also have it go that way. Also, am I doing this correctly? Yes. This one's too wide though. I would want this to be that wide. Sure. Okay, so that is gonna go right there, and then this needs to curve inwards. To go over here. Then we could have this, like these are gonna be our market stalls, squares. Basically, these buildings that all form like an inner courtyard. Let me look if I can find whatever. Bazaar. Yeah, more like a bazaar than a market square, more so. Let me look at some images if I can give you an idea of like the vibe of these areas. Something like this. where you have buildings around like a square, right? And all the market stalls on the square sell a product within a category. So we'll have like a meat bazaar and a plant or a vegetable bazaar, cotton and linen and stuff like that. Like this, you know? Stuff like that. That's kind of the idea that we're going for. So if this cuts straight through, which I technically don't want to do, but it's gonna happen. He's looking at the square, but I'll need a coin for the fair. I guess so. I don't know. I want these to just go straight into each other. I could have this road like kind of go that way onto the harbor, which is a possibility. Three. 5, sir. 6, 7. And then that will meet up over here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That does mean that we are either gonna have to raise this up, which I would do actually, and just kind of have it encroach over here, or we put buildings and we just raise it up all the way. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then over here, we'll do that, and we'll have a little shorter step up. Which is going to result in something along those lines, and then this is going to... Can we fix this? I sure can. Look at that. I sure can fix this. I like this, so we'll kind of cut you back like that, so the curve comes down here. Sure. These will all change once we get buildings in here. That's the nature of this all. There we go. Does that is 7. So technically I'd want this to go right here. There. There we go. So that will be like one market square or one bazaar, and then this can technically, we could have this continue around here all the way up there, because that's mostly what I want to work on now. We will have a road coming from down here, right? From down here we'll have a road going down almost straight to that edge over there. Maybe we'll put a little curve in it, but nothing too severe. Okay. Do you like Doritos? They're not my favorite chip. Also, I haven't had chips in a while. I like tortilla chips in general, but Doritos themselves, not my favorite. So that's gonna be road, right? And then that one. You know what? Let's make the main roads. Let's set them up like that so we can kind of figure out the way to go. We could also have a road coming out here. Because it doesn't really make sense for us to be putting roads in already without the buildings in place, but we can put up some guides. The condu tortillas, I don't know, I kind of like them. Tortilla chips. That 6. Um, 6. And that will go down there. And that will curve back into here. Right there. So that is going to snake back up there. Back in here, and then do like a little loop-de-loop. And then from there, we'll kind of go around like that. This only makes sense then it only makes sense to have one road going that direction, and I am saying we put it up here somewhere. You like folklore or like sci-fi? You like tortillas, though, with Doritos obsessed of each other. I don't know. Aren't they tortilla? Aren't they corn-based chips? Isn't that what you think of when you do tortillas? Isn't that okay, you know? Well, we could split it off here. I have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's not do that. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna split off together. Let's see. So we have road, road, road. Road. This is gonna come down almost straight. And then we'll have no road here. We'll have a road coming down here, a road coming down here. That's gonna go to there. Okay. Let's see. Uh, at the King's Temple. What would define a King's Temple? Is 4 chunks alone? I mean, it is, I think. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's bigger than 4 chunks. Okay. And that is that. So we'll put like a stop on here. 1, 2, 3. So that's also one of the main roads. See how we're spider webbing roads out? And then we'll have another one kind of coming off here, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. Will that be filled with buildings? I mean, yeah. So you see, okay, let me look at them. You see how we're creating like pockets? You see how we did it over here as well? You create these pockets of like non-roads, right? Roadless areas. And then you just fill them up with buildings. And eventually it'll look like that. Of course, not all of these are going to be buildings. So if you look at this place over here, this is a really good, a good example of this. You have your main roads. This is what we're doing right now, right? We're putting in these main roads. And as you can see, not all of these line up perfectly. Some of them overlap, some of them don't. And then you add spaces between the buildings so that people can take shortcuts. These are your alleyways. The King's and Queen's Temple, and it could possibly... I'm not fond of adding, like, existing social structures into worlds, but then again, there's no real way to doing it. But I don't like the idea of having a monarchy in this world. So I probably wouldn't have a King's and Queen's Temple. There'll be temples, though, eventually. Okay, so that one's gonna come in there. And then we'll have space for like a couple of buildings over here, like a tavern or something. And then I want that road, that one over there. I want to come out over here. So we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I can think of what it might be. It would really depend on what country we're talking about, but I can guess what it is. I'm pretty sure it's not Hansel and Gretel. That I am pretty sure of. Okay, let's do that. And then we go over here. We do kind of want to line it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then that will turn over here. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then we'll have that come down. Okay, so how are we looking? We have that. I want to continue this one up straight and then like towards there. So this one right here will continue through here. We'll have 1, 2. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, that. Buck. Oh, a folklore game? No. And then that will continue over here. We'll go. I'm thinking, chat. Give me a second. Give me a second. I will go here, continue through here. And that will continue over here. And then join. I mean, this will be a road going around. So that will just come down in here, connecting those as well. And then I think that's most of the main roads in here. Journey on a Pony. Oh, yeah, no, I know that. I know that. Now you explain it. Now that also means that I can start. So either we build up houses. So for now, what time is it? It's okay. I have another half an hour at least. So either we start building up what I've been doing over there, the shaping up buildings over here, or I start planning out new buildings. I kind of need to finish these up first, though. That is a thing that I need to do. Dude, this... Now we're at a stage within the city where things are going to go fast. Also, I need to figure out a space where I'm going to put our quiz. And I was thinking either we do it on here, on the lower half, right? As you can see, I have a way down now. We could put it down here. But that's gonna leave us with a lot of empty spaces. So I was also thinking maybe we can fit it in on this corner over here. Right? And maybe stick it out a bit and use this break as like a pedestal for the game. Which might be a good idea. So I have a schematic made of the thing. What did I call it? I think I called it quiz. Quiz. Load schematic. Because the building itself is not that big. And so by raising it up, also I don't need that much space for the redstone. So by raising it up, we do eliminate a lot of digging. Let's see. Oh, I probably shouldn't be doing it with this. No, what? No, let's do it. Let's just put it so that I can dig out the area that I need to dig out. Okay, so that is... I need it to go down one more block. Or if I put it up here on this level, it all kind of depends on how high I want this square to go. Because we'll have like another smaller square in here. I think I'm going to push it back a little more. I don't know how far that's sticking out now. Why is it called quiz? Because it's a quiz. That's a bit too far, isn't it? It's a bit too far, in it. Okay, let me get the walls down so I know what the bounds of the actual building are. Okay. Now we push you back in here, back in there. And I feel like still too far. I feel like that would work. Now, putting it putting it this way, kind of, you know, it's digging too much in. If I put it any higher, I fear that we would have to put in too much of a retaining wall down here. So we could also rotate it, have the square on this side, which might be a good idea. Mm-hmm. Because now I can kind of cut it down, because I only would have to take it down one block, I think, right? No, I'd have to take it down 2 blocks. Do you use a mod to do it? Yeah, this is like Medica. I have to take it down 2 blocks. Which, you know, it's not the worst, but it's also not great. So, I don't know about this one. Maybe it just doesn't fit in this area. It's kind of big for this area. I mean, the building is almost as big as that. Maybe, let's try and put it down. We can put smaller games in there. Let's put it down here. And see if it fits on this side of town. Find sandy temple, make it better. I don't know. If I'm making a temple, I'm making my own. I don't need to take anyone else's temples. So if I... Dude, it's still... Oh, it's cutting it. Oh, it's so bad. Maybe we'll have to force it in here. Chad, it's too big. Chat, it's too big. A Roblox studio? Okay. That's nice. I think that's the only place I can put it. Which, you know, it's not the worst spot. It's not great either. Really cram it into the back there. I mean, it kind of makes sense to be there, I guess. Then we'll have like a little square with a bridge over here, a bridge over there, bridge over there. Kind of makes sense to have it over here. Then we'll retain, put a retaining wall, or we'll continue this wall actually. Continue this wall over here. Like so. Everybody come back. I mean, people are lurking. They can lurk. Okay, if I did that, I can then tie it back in here, which would be great. Because that means a whole lot less digging to be done. Also means we would have to do... We would have to do a lot of digging. But most of it will be done using... I mean, it's all mostly dirt, actually. Slash wand. Oh, I should, you know what I should do? Should probably just do that, and then go to the other corner over here, dig it down until we're at here. Boom, slash replace air. There we go. Mostly just want to clean all of this up. Something like that. Sure. That'll stay, that'll stay, that will stay. We'll bring this corner in here like so, making it a bit cleaner looking. You know, give it the illusion of there being a lot of building in here, but classmates in high school, please. Why? Why is that something you want to know? Because I like story. I don't think I want to share. I want to share my classmate story, I guess. I think that's the way to do it. I know. I was a nerd in high school. I didn't have. It's not like I didn't have friends. It's just, you know, I wasn't a popular kid, so I didn't have many friends. I had a couple of good ones. That was about it. What console? I don't have any of those. I mean, I technically have a Game Boy Advance, if you count that as a handheld. That's about it. I'm mainly computer guy. Also, I don't have time to play any other games outside of Minecraft. I don't really have time. And then over here, we'll take this guy down. Till here, replace air. They have a look, have a look-see look. Definitely don't have any everything. How are we doing now? We definitely don't have anything. I'm missing a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go you. Guess. Yes, why would I have 98 in my username? Wild guess. Wild guess. Okay, so that's all the digging that needs to be done for that building. Maybe you own Windows 98. It's one of the two. It is one of the two. Okay, now I need to anchor these. These are my markers, because we're gonna get rid of this one. Remove, and then we're gonna put in a create one, because that is gonna take care of the belts and stuff. Like Medica doesn't work that well with belts and stuff, so. But it is better for just, you know, visibility. Okay, I'm gonna need to rotate this. NBT? It's I don't know. I don't know. There we go. And then we can print. So that we now have an actual building ready to go, and we should be able to get rid of those. I don't think it would have replaced... Oh, it has. Oh, God. Oh, well. That's fine. I want to make sure that this still looks good. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of these. Bye-bye, Chibi. Bye-bye. Okay. So that now kind of cleaned up a little bit. I kind of like the fact that it's like half dug down. Kind of makes me think about like a Greek theater almost. You know? So, this will be my service entrance, so we'll have a way down here. Maybe you know what, I probably should. Have like staircase this way. That. Now, I'm gonna grab you real quick, just to kind of light it up a little bit. Okay, and then stair-wise. I probably should go from the bottom up. Now I want to go from here. We'll do that. Do that. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do it that way. Maybe we do it the correct way. And we match it up perfectly. Because I still need to give them a way up, which I want to do right now. So I kind of want to continue these, right? Okay, I'm gonna put this on peaceful real quick, 'cause I'm getting annoyed. Good. Good. And then we'll just put in like a door in the middle of each of these. Hello, Yummy. Welcome in. It's been a while. I'm doing well. And we'll continue this in a hallway. Going over here. Been busy? Yeah, it happens. I get it. I get it. And then over here we'll do elevator. We'll do a double column elevator. Made my first dried kelp farm. Ooh, interesting. How'd it go? Were you able to figure it out? Okay, I need to make sure that I'm looking up. Can't be that far off. Oh, I am really far off, actually. Looks really good and works great. That's good. That's good to hear. Imagine being that far off. Okay, so that is our column where we would want to go to. So is charcoal generator getting a workout too? Yeah. Dried kelp farms are a thing. For sure. Okay, so we bring this out here, and then back in here. So, and then that will continue here. Boom. Keep pushing me to envelop, like you encouraged me to do. To evolve? Yeah, no, that's great. I enjoy seeing people push themselves. Absolutely enjoy it. Okay, and then that all the way over to here. Oh, this with air as well. Probably should do this as well. Pumpkin pie farm. That's a very multi-tiered farm. Like, you gotta have sugar. Is there sugar in pumpkin farms? You gotta have pumpkin, that's for sure. You gotta have wooden bowls. That's for sure. I don't know if there's sugar in pumpkin pie. Okay, and then this all gonna be. This is all like underground stuff, so it doesn't have to be all that fancy. Replace air with chipped massive deep slate bricks. Mm-hmm. There we go. Heck, what? No, never until you try. That's true. That's true. Okay, so that, and then this is going to be bubble elevator coming up here, which will be doorway. Yeah. I would probably have like a false ceiling in here as well. Copper golems need a little. Oh, I haven't had any experience with them just yet. Okay, that's enough planning for that build. Right now, I want to get. What time is it? Well, I don't have that much time anymore. But maybe we finish up some of these builds over here. I started them already, but we can finish them off. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Look on the map. It's getting to be pretty big. Go again, but I forget you. Broken hearted. Okay, so that's gonna be a little dome right there, and then over here we'll have little guy like that. Right. This. I don't know what I want to do with this. I mean, we could. Let me get the building in first. I think that makes more sense. You like crowded villages? Dude, a city, definitely cities of this size and importance kind of need to be crowded, in my opinion. You want to get that feeling of walking through here, right? And I still need some decoration here and there, but you want to be you want it to be kind of like a maze, you know? So if I get some more buildings in there and like cut off points of view, I like my towns to be maze-like. And then you got these open, like big open fields with like points of entrance. Like, imagine standing here, if I get these couple of buildings in, standing here and being able to look up, seeing that tree, right? Oh, I'm gonna go and take a look at that tree. And then you come up, you see all these side streets. But suddenly you see, ooh, the brass. We're in a fancy part of town right now. Right? That's kind of the goal. And then you have these little side squares and stuff. That's the goal of this entire city. So make it feel like it's actual, like it's been growing. Just like expanding outwards. Now don't ask me if all of these have interiors or not, because they don't. They don't. Do I still have a fill? Yes, I do. There we go. Making quick work of this. I am almost tempted to do this in here so I can have like a little like little window, little one of those up here, right? Kind of making that a lot more interesting. And then over here we'll do a very basic A-frame. And that right there is what I want. In between those two roofs, that is gonna peek out like it's like, you know, it's hinting at you to come and take a look. It wants you to come and take a look. Okay, boom. I just want to get the boxes in. That's kind of because those are going to give me an idea of sizes and like shapes and heights. The rest is not that important right now. That's going to be just like a small building over there. I can imagine some famous artist painting it. Maybe we'll get some custom paintings in here. That, and then this one is gonna come up over here. Replace air with red wool. These can be windows, and then we'll put the door in here. Just want to get like the doors in, really. Maybe we'll put the door here, window, window. Then we'll have a small second floor. And then we'll have like a bigger like window up there. It's a shame we can't have peasants or ladies or gentlemen strolling through it. We could do with like NPC mods, but those are very taxing stuff. Yeah, that little expansion over here is gonna help tremendously. See, this is what I meant with like the shape, like adding those buildings just adds direct your attention to that tree. And then we'll have a tower over there. This is also something that is going to be prominent above like the rooftops. Definitely the moment you come down from the stairs, you're going to see that tower stick out. Which is... So what's the name of your village? At this point, it's turning out to be a city, and this city is called Achnithra, which is spelled like this. Oh, you can't see that. Oh, let's do it in here. It's spelled like this. Like that. Achnithra. Or Achnithra, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Dude, if I get this expansion done, that'll be quite the amount of buildings. And then we'll have similar buildings along here. Interesting name. I kind of like it. It's got a bit. It's got that mix of Latin, but also Norse for some reason. A little bit of that Germanic based in it, and it's kind of a mix of the two, where we end on an A, which is very Latin, right? But it's still got that TH in there, which in Latin you don't often see. You need a fish shop. Right now, I have... oh, I still need to edit that video. Maybe I'll do that later. But I have a shop for cards. Because I made my own playing card game. Right, I got that. And then I have a shop for food. Because the goal of this world is invite other people on it to play games. Right? That's the goal. This is also the creative world. This is not the actual server. But I've invited my first person, which was Trollesh. We played a test game of our card game, and then that video will be posted in, I think, a couple of days. But not the Yummy Fish Shop. Maybe later we can do that, but you'll have to deserve it. I'm joking, by the way. It'll be fine. Do that. That. It's going to be building over there. This is a road. We'll have a small alleyway in between here. Or maybe, maybe not. Maybe we just have like a weird shaped building in here. I don't mind having a weird shaped building in here. That will be 3. Stick out this part. And then the next one would go here. Oh, what if, hold your horses, chat. What if we do that? Stick this out a bit further and then make our building, make this our actual building. Right? We still have space to put another building in here, which we can then just do boom, boom. Let's do, let's do like that. And then this will go, let's do that. And then to kind of close this off, because I don't want there to be a way that back here, we're gonna put a tower on this. Just a small little tower on this building, which again is gonna add to that spire-like structure over there. And that's how we build out. And then you see how the road is coming in. See how that road is coming in. That's kind of the goal. Dude, this is gonna be such a cool part of the city. We can hold markets on these squares. What's happening? Ooh, 510 bits from Yummy? Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to. You know that, right? You don't have to, but I appreciate it, and you're going in the jar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You owe me a challenge? That's at 500. That's not 510. I thought your eggs were $10 a bit. It's set to 500 bits, which is roughly $10. Honestly, where I live, roughly only 5, but you know. That's you know, that's how that goes. Okay, so we need to figure out how we're gonna direct this road, and I feel like we need to go. We need to have you be our cutoff, and then we can do like a little odd shape in here and bring it back. Or we could also do that. Sure. That's two. Ooh, it comes out even. Oh, it doesn't come out even. I want to make it even. You aren't using a gumball? I am. I am. Don't worry. It's still there. But it's 500 bits. Also, this is a creative stream, and challenges don't really do well with creative streams, you know? Like that. And then I would be down. Let me challenge then. I mean, technically I don't, but I'll give it to you. Technically, I don't owe you challenge because it's not 510 bits; it's 500 bits. There is a difference over there, you know. You know, there is a difference, but I'll allow it. Didn't let me have just 500? Huh, interesting. Okay, I do. You know what? Yes. Let's see. How are we doing this? I want that to come out here, so we can start a building like right here, which is gonna take stuff outwards. I'm trying to create like some alleyways. No, I'll do the challenge next stream, but I'll be on Saturday. That'll be on Saturday. The problem is with this is that this isn't really going the way I want it to go. The road is not going the way I want it to go. Okay, that should be enough for the road to come down like that. Which allows us 2 more like squares, like inner squares. And that's how we're basically gonna build out the entire city, doing what we just did. How do you decide on roof lines? So if you look at buildings, the roof line goes one of 2 ways. Either it goes in length, right? So like for this building, it'll go in length of the building because it doesn't really make sense to have the roof that way. Otherwise, you get a way too high of a slope. So that's why we put our faces on the short side of the building. If you're looking at buildings like these, it's the same thing. You just kind of slant it. And then on buildings that are almost square, right, you just pick a direction. If it's a square that's attached to another building, I usually go in a different direction, 90 degrees to that other building. So like, what's a good, like this one, you see how we went this way, and then the lower part goes that way, 90 degrees, because that kind of nicely like intersects like that. On square buildings, I don't really put in square buildings all that much, but like over here, because it's squeezed in between 2 buildings, depending on the height of those buildings, I'll probably have the roof going this direction with that smaller roof going that direction. I don't know, it's kind of just you gut feeling. I have a couple of rules. It also depends on the roof style, because these don't technically have like a roof line. They slant up on one side and then kind of square off at the top, or you you kind of pull your corners in over like 2 or 3 blocks and then square it off. It just kind of depends on what style of roof you want. Really. I've had worse images. I had worse pictures. You know what I want to try with this one? I want to have this, and then a couple of blocks further, we'll bring it up another floor. Boom, boom. That was a good X-Snap? It was pretty good. Yeah, I've had worse. I've definitely had worse. That's the wrong blocks. Let's see. Can we still see that tower? Ooh, I like that. I like where it's like kind of sticking out. Yeah, you can kind of see it. And then over here, we come down. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I do think that... What time is it? It's 10. And I have work tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video right here. I'll get some editing done so I can post another video this weekend. Possibly. And I'll see you all on Saturday. So let me check my checklist real quick. And I think let's do that. Checklist. Checklist. Let's see. Hello, Beckham eggs. Let's see. That's about it. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, Chosen's live. I'm gonna raid into Chosen. He's playing Cobblemon. And I'll see you all on Saturday. Same time, 7:30. Depends on how far I get, but we might do some building like in the actual world. So have a great weekend. I'll see you all on Saturday. Bye. Also, say hi to Chosen when you raid into him. He's doing really cool things, you know. Also, people over on YouTube, you have his link. So I'll see you all then. Bye.